Yo, what is up, everybody? This is the trade recap of today. It is September 2nd, 2025. Gonna be going over today's price action. Gonna go over the trade that I took and also the overall trades that you could have taken today. Let's get into this. So, let's go into AM session, and I will start with the daily buys. So, here, coming into the morning, I said I was leaning bearish at open. So what were we doing here on the higher time frame was that on the daily, we were just displacing through this daily gap, and on the 4-hour gap, basically at the moment we were just all the way down here. On the 1 hour, we were like all the way down here. So I was really bearish towards previous week low. Hold up. Okay, I don't think it was previous week low then, but it was this weekly low here. And basically this was like the overall drawn liquidity this entire like week, where we're just like this overall just sell model, just dumping lower here, rejecting off here and just dumping lower and just trading back to all of these lows that we left from a very long time ago. We had this data low that we took care of, and then just overall these lows here. And just from this area right here, I do remember this. I remember we came and swept like this low, and we actually never took out this 4-hour gap here. So we left this 4-hour gap, and for me, this was really the true end of like the sell model here. So basically just wanted to see price trade lower to like this level, which is previous week low and this 4-hour gap. From there, there's like no reason for us to really like be trading lower. There's no like unfilled gaps on the 4-hour. This low just too far really, and this is like where you'd probably see like your best reactions is this level once there's like no really reason for us to go lower anymore. So basically I was bearish towards this low, basically bearish towards this this weekly low here. So what I wanted to see here, so we had like some random news here. I remember at like 8:54, I don't know what news this was, but good little data candle. There was a setup here at open along, because we actually did not trade higher here, we just traded lower. But at open though, I did want to see this happen. This would have been an A+ scenario where we just open high, take out this data high here, which is also this unfilled 15-minute lying right above it. So we'd want to see price trade up here, maybe even like this, but really just here to get that like clean Judas swing inversion. So that's what I wanted to see happen, but sadly at open all we did was dump, which honestly I was still okay with, because I knew that this level right here with like that 4-hour gap and that weekly low, that would be like a very good spot to reject from. And we also have like all of these unfilled gaps and this data high here as well. So check out the data low, and basically there is this setup here that I did not take. In hindsight, I should have taken this, just because this entire like I saw this happening, and I just knew that this like level right here, like I just knew that this was the end of the market maker sell model, and I can just see price like I can see this being like a a bottom tick like area right here, where like we're not going to go lower just because price has no reason to really be trading lower. So on the 1 minute, I definitely would have taken something if there was something clean on the 1 minute, but there's just like no 1 minute inversion here. Like I would have taken this here, but just didn't get that close. Even though there are higher time frames in the leg, I still really wouldn't have cared. Just because Judas swing inversions, you can expect just really, you don't, because usually with these Judas swing inversions that open, where like we just do something like this, it's very unlikely that you're going to get the highest time for an inversion, which in this case was like this 5 minute, and like obviously you're not going to get this 5 minute inversion here. So if you see like these big obvious for value gaps and we get like clear displacement, say this candle here closed like here, like that's something I'm going to take here to this obvious drawn liquidity, which is these data highs and then all these unfilled gaps, hourly gaps, everything, because there's no reason for us to come back lower. And the reason why I said there was a potential setup here was because whenever we made this move down here, we did actually create like this really, like this 30-second gap here. This gap right here. Ew, why are my boxes purple? Okay, so we made this 30, bro. Alright, whatever. We made this 30-second gap here, and this is a pretty obvious gap made in my opinion. It's not like some tiny, small 30-second. And the reason why this was pretty good here to take at this close was just because we get clear displacement through this, and this is an obvious gap that we created, like, and this is just like pretty much V-shaped right after sweeping this level. So honestly, I really should have just ripped this and taken this to like this data high slash unfilled 50 minute for a 1.72 RR. But I've just never taken a trade like this where it's like Judas swing with like a 30-second, because at the same time you're inside this 1 minute gap. But there's cases where like we'll get this 1 minute inversion and we'll still be inside of like say a 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, and I won't care, just because if we get that displacement, it's honestly just, it's good enough. So in this case, I guess I should have just considered this like me taking it down a time frame and just it being the exact same idea. Like I'm taking a 30-second knowing that I'm in a 1 minute, but I'm just going to anticipate the 1 minute to get inversed, which is probably what I should have done. But say it's still learning. So whenever this happens again and the drawn liquidity is super clear and we get a 30-second inversion, it's okay to take. So that's good right there. So this was the first setup you could have taken. I didn't take this. But this was an A+ setup here. This like ran to like, I wanted to see this devil's mark here get taken, this wickless candle. And that's exactly what it did ran to. It ran towards that. So I guess if you would have had big balls, could have had that, but no, this is good enough here. But yeah, so that happened, and basically I was just gonna be patient here. I didn't really expect to take a trade, I'm not gonna lie, but I did end up taking something, so we'll get into that. So we ended up just trading higher from here as expected. I didn't expect this low to get traded back to. There's like no reason. And basically, oh yeah, hold on, let me get into this here. I did see this setup here that I do want to go over. That actually failed. I didn't take this, but it did fail. So how do I go back? Okay, so there's like this 1 minute mech short here. Pretty A+ mechanically, but this is terrible like discretion wise. So I'll go over that. So overall, it's okay to be bearish. Like for this whole move, it's okay to be bearish until what point? Until here. So from here, like there's no reason for us to trade lower. So just overall, taking a short right now is just super low probability. just because we have so many gaps here to the left of us that we need to like take care of, like these hourly gaps. There's like a 4-hour unfilled that we were like about to form and all of that. So just a short is like super low probability, even though this is like A plus mechanically, which is like this 5-minute high here, this 15-minute for value gap, pretty obvious 15-minute as well. Beautiful like sweep of this, like we swept this thing beautifully, and then we get super clean displacement of this inversion for value gap. And what you would do is you would take this, and I think there was like even an SMT with like this gap here, like ES was like lower, so you could take it to this unfilled 5-minute. It's pretty bad R. Yeah, if you're taking this, like you might be buns at trading. But you can take that. Probably wait for like a retrace or something. I don't know. But basically, next short here, just it's not good to be taking these like when the overall the overall bias is bullish here, which is why this A plus mech failed. So something to keep in mind. And if you are going to be taking shorts here, if you like, the next place to take a short would be once we complete like the overall buy model. Now you got to like realize like when are we going to stop being bullish? Most likely once we take out like maybe like this 4-hour that we're going to form here. Like this is a really good rejection area right here. This fair value gap is already like taken care of, but like this unfilled 4-hour is just like you just got to be zooming in here. So like this 4-hour and like this 1-hour gap, like this is an overall good area to be shorting again. But yeah, hopefully that makes a bit more sense. Don't try to trade these like internally is what I'm trying to get at. So basically from here, what I wanted to see is I still felt like the draw was higher. Like I honestly thought this was gonna be a day where we just rip and just reverse this entire like down move here. So basically what I was waiting for here was, I think there was news at 10. So yeah, I basically just waited for news, and I wanted to see us open up a 4-hour gap here and for us to like trade higher to that gap. So, and like get like some kind of type of like continuation. And that's exactly what we did. We basically just keep trading higher. Why does it say? Okay. Okay, so 10 a.m. news is right here. So yeah, what do we do here? We have this data high here. I'm overall bullish. So what I want to see happen is that as we created this 10 a.m., right? We created this 4-hour gap here. And basically I just wanted to see it like continuations because my overall bias was bullish. So what you want to see happen is that you want to see us retrace into like a 5 or 15-minute gap and then get like that continuation long while you're creating like low resistance liquidity, data highs, equal highs, whatever. So in this case we had data highs, and I just want to see us pull back here. I think there was this, yeah, there's like this unfilled 15-minute. Honestly, I didn't expect this to get traded to. I was okay with like maybe this gap here. So yeah, basically just waited for that to happen. So we just keep generating liquidity, just being patient. And oh yeah, I remember. So this like new 15-minute, yeah, we opened like a new 15-minute. Yeah, so we opened up this 15-minute here. And we had this 5-minute gap here as well. So this was the 15-minute gap and this is the 5-minute gap. So this 15-minute gaps opens like here. And what do we do immediately once we create that is that we get this open low. We take out this 15-minute and this 5-minute. And from here, I was like, okay, this is perfect. I want to see some type of inversion. We have this buy side liquidity here, and we have this data high, which I wanted as like my overall TP. And I wanted to also see this hit this 4-hour gap here, which I didn't like expect, to be honest. I was okay with just TPing at data highs. But yeah, so I was looking for the highest time frame inversion in the leg, and that happened to be a 30-second. So immediate V shape here, A plus setup. This was not only a sweep of this 5-minute gap, but I believe ES 950 low, 950 low. Yeah, so this was an SMT here. So NQ swept this 950 like fair value gap low, and on ES 950, this one, yeah, ES did not hit this. So bullish SMT, basically like an A plus continuation. Basically took this here, stop loss at this low, and my target was this data highs up here. This would have been a banger trade if it would have hit full TP. It's around like almost a 1 to 5 here. So how I played this was I took this break even at this high right here, this internal high. So break even here. Bro, why is this break even there? And I had TP1 at this buy side liquidity. Bro. And TP2 is at these data highs here. So A plus setup here. And this is also this 10 a.m. opening lower. This is just overall, I expected this to be like an open low and then high close back up to this 4-hour gap. Sadly, didn't get full TP though. So break even there, and then basically got TP1. Where is it? Okay, yeah, I got TP1 around here. Closed about half my position, and then rest of my position was at break even. I held to these data highs. I was really overall just really confident, just us flushing all the way up here. But price action does what it wants at the end of the day, and I get stopped out at break even, and then basically we just started chopping the whole day. I don't know what happened. We were moving super clean, and we just started chopping all day. But yeah, that's overall that setup. So yeah, 3 setups today. One being this long at open, which was an A plus setup here, and there's this mech short. I explained why this was a bad trade, even though it's A plus mechanically. And then we have this A plus continuation long here, towards the overall draw, which for me was higher. We just wanted to be gay really quick and just do whatever. I don't know. We just started chopping for no reason. But yeah, took that on 5 accounts. I could not place this on my 6th account just because this was a 30-second trade and we just ripped. Like I didn't have time to place it. But yeah, overall A plus setup, and yeah, really liked the day today. So if y'all have any questions, send me a DM. But yeah, Tuesday, September 2nd. Yeah, we'll get into this tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully y'all learned something nice. But yeah, see you later.